What is up everybody, it's Animac here for Anime Uproar, and in this video we're going to be talking about all you need to know about the Ghost in the Shell franchise. Whether you're thinking about seeing the new live action movie and you want to know what to expect, or whether you've just seen the movie and you want to learn more, or if you're just an anime or sci-fi fan who wants to learn about the Ghost in the Shell franchise, this video will tell you all you need to know without getting into the spoilers. In this video we're going to tell you about the origins of Ghost in the Shell, what makes this franchise so unique, and where all the different adaptations fit in. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for all the latest in the world of anime and manga. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, what makes Ghost in the Shell so special is its unique blend of action, science fiction, and more specifically cyberpunk, and philosophy. The franchise has been combining these genres in unique ways ever since 1989, when the first Ghost in the Shell seinen manga was published. A seinen manga is essentially a Japanese comic book aimed at older boys and adult men, and the Ghost in the Shell manga was created by Masamune Shiro. Although first published in 1989, the story of the manga takes place in mid-21st century Japan, and it follows Section 9, a fictional counter-cyber-terrorist organization led by Major Motoko Kusanagi, who is also the main character. A number of anime adaptations of the original Ghost in the Shell manga have been made over the years, starting with the 1995 Ghost in the Shell animated film. The film follows Section 9 as they hunt for a notorious hacker known as the Puppet Master. But the hunt quickly turns into much more than a simple criminal case, as a huge government corruption conspiracy is soon uncovered. The film also deals with important philosophical questions, including the idea of transhumanism and what it really means to be human in a world where people use technology to essentially turn their bodies into machines. At what point does someone who replaces their body with mechanical parts stop being human and become a machine? Can someone who goes full cyborg still be considered human? Is there an essence, a spirit that makes us human? Is there a ghost in the shell? That is the fundamental question, and it is a fascinating one. The 1995 animated film was followed in 2002 by an anime series called Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. In this adaptation, the members of Section 9 take on terrorism, cybercrime, and government corruption in the Laughing Man and Individual 11 investigations. Although this series does not follow directly the events of the original manga, it is still a very interesting anime with 50 episodes and a feature-length film. So if you're looking for Ghost in the Shell content to binge watch, this is definitely a great place to start. As always with Ghost in the Shell, this series deals with important philosophical issues, from the relationship between modern technology and social behavior to artificial intelligence or AI. In 2004, a second Ghost in the Shell animated film was produced as a sort of sequel to the 1995 film. Best known as Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence, this film features the same characters from the previous film, and it is based on some of the events in the original manga. However, it is not directly connected to the previous film, and it can be considered an independent story. In this film, Section 9 investigates a series of murders connected to malfunctioning gynoids, or female sex robots. Our protagonists learn that human consciousness is being artificially and illegally transferred into the sex bots in order to make them more realistic, and Section 9 suspects that this fact is connected to the reason behind the murders. As you can tell, this film also deals with major philosophical questions about what it means to be human, about human nature, and human sexuality. This film was selected as the best science fiction film at the 2004 Nihon SF Taisho Awards. In 2013, a new adaptation under the name Ghost in the Shell Arise was launched as an original video animation or OVA. This OVA was made up of 4 episodes and it ran through mid-2014. Then in 2015, it received 2 additional episodes, and most of the cast that created Arise went on to create another feature-length Ghost in the Shell film in 2015, and that film was called Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. The events of Arise take place in 2027, which is 2 years before the events of the original 1995 film and 3 years before the events of the standalone complex anime. However, Arise has been officially termed as a reimagining, so that means that the creators wanted to stay away from the continuity of the other series and wanted to create an independent story. In this sense, each adaptation of Ghost in the Shell can be seen as an independent story, because although they all share many common elements, none of them are directly connected to each other. Finally, an American live-action adaptation called simply Ghost in the Shell is coming out on March 31st, 2017, and it stars Scarlett Johannson as the Major and leader of Section 9. From what we can tell right now from the trailer, this movie will revolve around the fact that the Major, who has a fully cybernetic body that she has been using to fight crime, was actually lied to about her past. The Major was led to believe that she lost her family in a terrorist attack and that her injuries were so grave that she had to be turned into a cyborg to save her life. However, it is implied that her mind was actually deliberately tampered with in order to turn her into a deadly weapon for the government. The new movie will likely follow the Major's search for the truth about her past, and it will likely deal with important political and philosophical issues while also featuring a lot of action. And I will now talk a bit about the main characters of the Ghost in the Shell franchise who will also appear in the new film. First, we have Motoko Kusanagi, or the Major, who will be played by Scarlett Johannson in the live-action adaptation. She is the field commander of Public Security Section 9, and she is known for being strong in mind and body, for being very intelligent, and for being an expert in hacking and military tactics. Then we have Bato, the Major's second in command at Section 9, and an experienced special operative with a long military career. Despite his rough exterior, in the Ghost in the Shell franchise, he is actually known for his kind heart and good sense of humor. Then we have Aramaki, the Chief Executive Director of Section 9. He is a no-nonsense leader who is willing to put his career and reputation on the line to protect the members of Section 9 from government corruption and political intrigue. And we have Togusa. Usually portrayed as the youngest member of Section 9 and the only one with a family, he is known for having the least cybernetic modifications done to his body and for being the most natural. Togusa was recruited into Section 9 because of his exceptional detective skills, because of his strong sense of right and wrong, and because his lack of cybernization gives him a different perspective from the other members. And finally we have Kuze, who is one of the antagonists in the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex Individual 11 arc, and who will be appearing in the new film as the primary villain. In the trailers for the new movie, it is hinted that Kuze is an early form of a full cyborg created by the government before the procedure was perfected with the Major. He now appears to be a criminal who wants to force the Major to face the truth about her past. I just want to give a quick thank you to Sir Ares from our Discord server. He was the first one to suggest making a video about the Ghost in the Shell franchise because he really wanted to know more about it himself. I also want to thank him for bugging me over and over again to get to work on this project while I was working on other videos. In the end, I really appreciate it, I had fun doing this, and I probably wouldn't have made this video without him. And now I will move on to give you guys some recommendations based on Ghost in the Shell, including Hollywood movies and anime series that are in the same genre and deal with similar themes. Ghost in the Shell was heavily influenced by the cyberpunk works of science fiction authors like William Gibson and Philip K. Dick, and of course by Japanese manga classics like Akira. If you're looking for similar Hollywood films, I would recommend Blade Runner, Minority Report, and the Matrix trilogy. And in fact, the Matrix trilogy was itself influenced by Ghost in the Shell. And if you're looking for anime that deal with similar issues as Ghost in the Shell and are in a similar genre, I would recommend Psycho Pass, Serial Experiments Lane, Ergo Proxy, Kaiba, and Cowboy Bebop. In fact, Cowboy Bebop was itself heavily influenced by the works of William Gibson, and especially by his short story, Burning Chrome. And of course, the works of William Gibson influenced Ghost in the Shell as well. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this about anime and manga, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.